Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out today's broadcast. My name is Jonathan, and today is day 433 of my 3 year challenge to lose 300 pounds. If this is your first time checking out my broadcast, a little bit about me and the channel. I'm married, we have 4 children together, and I've been overweight my whole life. In 2020, I got to a point where I was heavier than I had ever been before. I was over 500 pounds and I knew I needed to do something to get my weight under control. So I created this challenge. When I started the challenge, I had two kind of main goals in mind. The first main goal is that I knew I needed to stick with this for a lot longer than I've ever been able to stick with any type of diet or any type of weight loss program. And so, above all, I knew I needed to commit to doing this for longer than I've ever done anything before. So I challenged myself to do this for 3 years. I figured that in 3 years, it would give me an opportunity to lose the weight and then also to find a way to maintain the weight loss. Because in the past, I've lost weight and had pretty good success eating really low calorie diets, cutting the weight. But I've never been able to maintain any type of sustainable weight loss. And many times, soon after I reach my weight goals, I'm on the track to reaching my new highest weight. So I challenged myself to do this for 3 years. The other big part of this challenge is that I have a lot of weight to lose. So I knew that I could easily challenge myself to lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds, and I would have done well. And I have lost a lot of weight so far. But in the past, I've set those goals and I've attained them. And, maybe the goal has been to get under 300 pounds. And it's great to reach that point, but I'm still really overweight at that point, when I'm at 300 pounds. And so this time I challenged myself to get to a weight that I've never dreamed of getting to before. And so that's why I challenged myself to lose 300 pounds. So far, we're about 14 months into this whole thing, and I'm just under 200 pounds lost. I'm at about 193 pounds as of the weigh in on Wednesday. Um, if anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your guys' non-scale victories. Any questions, comments, anything you want to add, always feel free. If you haven't already, make sure you do get subscribed to the channel, like this video, share it, and comment below. All of those things help me grow this channel so that I can help more people try to lose some weight. All right, let me switch out of this. I am excited. We got the weekend coming up here. Are you guys got any excited for the weekend coming up here? Do you guys have any plans for the weekend? I'd love to hear if anybody's doing any major activities or if there's something that you have been wanting to get done that you're going to get done. I know my kids have some projects that they want me to work on this weekend. We received a lot of Legos from uh, the different Christmas and holiday parties. And there's a couple sets I know that they really want me to work on putting together this weekend. We'll see how that goes. It might not be a bad thing to do because it's going to be pretty cold in the area that we live in today or this weekend. Um, I have not been on since Wednesday. I did just mention that I had an awesome weigh in on Wednesday. I don't have the sheet right in front of me for yeah, it was over 5 pounds, I think, that I lost. Yeah, it would have been over 5 pounds that I lost in the last week. It feels great to have that weight off, been going in the right direction. I did get on the scale today. I got on yesterday too, actually. I'll go and anyways. Um, and I am up about a pound. So I know that going into the weekend that I'm up about a pound. I need to make sure that I am kind of picking the right things to eat throughout the weekend here so that I don't have gain this upcoming week. I'm not expecting to have another huge loss like I did last week, it would be great to have a huge loss, but I've lost 7 pounds in the last 2 weeks. So there's, I'm not going to be too pushy about it. I'm just happy to see things going in the right direction. And it's continuing to stay on diet that is keeping me going in the right direction. I talked about that a lot on Wednesday about, resisting the temptation and staying motivated, and seeing this weight loss is really awesome. And it keeps me extremely motivated to stick with the diet. Going, see, so far as food that I have had since the weigh in, it's a lot of the normal things, the mango, the oranges. Um, my avocado toast. I don't know if I'll have a chance to stop today, but we get this mango pico de gallo mix from Aldi's that I really enjoy. And they did not have any of it when I stopped in there last week. They were out. It might have been on a Sunday, I think I stopped it, and or Saturday late that I stopped, and they didn't have any. So I stopped in Wednesday, I believe, after the stream to see if they had some, and they did have one container, two containers of the mango pico de gallo. So I grabbed them, and one of them was almost completely mango. It's really weird. Like, um, something happened with the machine or something, but it is very little tomato. So I'm thinking what I might do is they sell a tomato pico de gallo at Aldi's. I might pick up a couple of them, and then I can take some of the mangoes from this container and put it in there. I mean, it is generally, it's maybe like 10% mangoes in this, like you get, a mango every time a chunk of mango every time you scoop up a spoonful or a couple chunks. And that's not the case with the ones we got. I didn't even pay attention to it, and it wasn't even until I went to use it yesterday that I noticed that it was almost completely mango. Wild. I might throw a picture of it up on the Discord if I think about it later. But for food, yeah, it's been the avocado toast, and um I cannot remember what we had for dinner on Wednesday night. Carrie says I am a nerd about my pico. I am a nerd about my pico. It's one of my favorite dishes. Uh my mother-in-law actually gave me a hard time when we were down visiting, or not quite, but I it's a whole process. Like, for me to make, and I every time I make it, I think that I should do like a this is how I make, like a how to make this, because it is such a procedure. I use 4 different utensils to make it. I use a sharp knife to cut the avocado. I use a butter knife to spread the miso. I use a spoon to scoop the avocado out of the, whatever, its skin. And then I use a regular fork to get the salsa out, because there's so much liquid with that the fork allows the liquid to go through. It's a whole process. And it's pretty funny that it makes such a mess. I feel a little bit bad about the mess I make every time, but it is so good. I don't feel that bad though. So good. So, um, Carrie said Wednesday night we had the smoky sweet chili, and then the kids had cornbread. Yeah, it was really sweet. Um, I'm not sure. That might have been a Well Your World recipe. I believe it was a Well Your World smoky sweet chili recipe, and it was really sweet. The kids did pretty good with it. They loved the cornbread that Carrie made. I don't know what kind of crack she put in that, but they loved the cornbread that she made. And then with the chili, it was pretty sweet. I actually added like a cayenne pepper or some sort of mix that Carrie has to kind of make it a little bit spicier. And so that was a great meal for Wednesday night. I really felt like I just ate a ton of food actually Wednesday night and yesterday. Uh, Yesterday we ended up having falafel bowls, I think is what you would call it. The chili was from the plant-based families, not Well Your World. So the smoky sweet chili was from plant-based families and it had molasses in it. Yes, it was so sweet because of the molasses that was in it. Which is just funny that we are making recipes that call for molasses. Sounds like an 1800s kind of thing to do. Um, and then yesterday, I believe it was falafels. Is that what you call yeah, the bowls that we had yesterday? And it was a different type of rice, I believe, that we had. It was funny to see. Um, it just was shaped a little bit different, just slightly different. It didn't really add any difference to the flavor. It was still really good. Carrie said she put lots of sugar in the cornbread and then she subbed applesauce for the oil, so it was really sweet. Yeah, like yeah, as soon as the kids took a bite of it, they were like, "Ooh, yay!" Uh, I'll eat all this, and it's probably because of all the sugar that was in it. Um, but we had those falafel bowls. They're really good. And just a simple, it's just carrots and you can put cucumbers in it if you want. I actually think Carrie had given the kids all the cucumbers before I got to it, so I didn't end up having any cucumbers. But the tzatziki sauce was really the star of the falafels. And then Carrie said that the rice was a short grain brown rice. Yeah, it was just something just a little bit different than we're normally have or what I normally expect, I guess. And then yeah, just kind of the normal snacks other than that, the mangoes, the um oranges and the cherry juice. I love me some cherry juice. Is supposed to help with inflammation. So I usually drink a small kind of glass of cherry juice every day or at least get a couple drinks of that a day. And that's really kind of what my food has been since last Wednesday. So just sticking to the diet, continuing to feel awesome, to feel it just like the it's weird to feel like I'm have reduced the inflammation throughout my body. Like I don't feel like there's any swelling around my joints or my legs or my stomach, just kind of especially my abdomen, really. Like I've been wearing uh it's a dumb thing, but I've been wearing my pants up higher than I used to wear them. I have kind of this waistline I created around around my body, from a belt for years and years, and um always kind of fought. I remember going to uh, a store when I was younger and getting dress clothes and like getting some stuff for a wedding. And my mom was helping me purchase the clothes at the time. So it must have been family wedding a long time ago. But the guy at the um, clothing place was like, well, you really should be wearing your pants up around your belly button, not down where you have them. And I was like, there is no way I am wearing my pants up around my belly button. And then now for the last few weeks, I've definitely been wearing my pants up around my belly button, and it's a lot more comfortable. The pants stay up. I'm not running around, it looks a little silly, I suppose, if I were to have my shirt tucked into my pants. So I'm not running around that way. I would look like I have like 1 foot tall body and 8 foot tall legs. Um, but it's just funny how my clothing, everything is fitting a little different. Carrie actually went through and did some sorting of some old clothes, and we were kind of fighting over or not whether or not to get rid of some things. And really it wasn't even it just I there's a couple things that I would like to kind of have to be able to like hold up next, like look at these jeans that I used to wear or these shirts that I used to wear. Um, but I don't really need to keep a lot of them. And It's funny trying to find my fattest clothing. Is that the biggest pair of jeans I ever had? I don't know. Um, just because I used to be just a mess to even find clothes to fit. Oh, now it's everything in my house that is mine fits me. So it's quite a difference to be where I'm at now versus where I was a year and a half ago. I have been reading the book Fiber Fueled by Dr. B. Will Bolshewitz or something. That is how you say his name. I had an opportunity. So I wasn't live yesterday because right before the end of the year last year, my daughter had to have eye surgery for a chronic issue she's had with her eye. If chronic's the right word, but um, anyways, so I ended up having to um, drive her to the appointment and back. And so that gave me a lot of chance to listen to the book. I've really listened to almost all of it. I think I'm within an hour and a half of finishing it. So if I get time this weekend, I'll probably finish it um, throughout this weekend, depending on what I end up doing. But it is a ton of information. There's so much packed into this book about gut health, and he kind of does just such a huge spectrum of things that he covers, and I really like it's not if I had to sit there and take a test of all the information that he gave out, it'd be pretty tough because there's so much going on. But it was neat to, kind of learn some things of, that I didn't really know. Uh, he talks a lot about fermenting of foods and sauerkraut and trying to think kimchi and some other things like that, which I believe that the Simon Hill book, The Proof is in the Plants, he talked about some of that stuff, but not as technically as this book discusses um those topics. Um the a lot of information on prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics, and just like I said, if you are interested in finding out about gut microorganisms or the gut microbiome, then this Dr. Will Bolshewitz is the one of the guys I would recommend following. He's got a podcast, he's got websites, this is kind of what he has spent his whole career to working on is the gut health information. And I kind of it's been coming up a lot recently. Like Carrie talks about it. I think she's listened to this guy's podcast or she's listened to this guy on other podcasts. So she knew who he was. And it is becoming a much more studied topic. And just the overall, it just wild to and how based on what you're eating, you're feeding or hurting these trillions of organisms that are inside your body, and based on what they get, they give you response back. It is really a driving factor in things like inflammation, I said, and overall health is can be kind of taken back to your gut. And so I really enjoy the book. I would recommend anybody that's trying to learn more information about this way of eating or just in gut health in general. Like this is, he's a plant-based doctor or he pushes a plant-based diet, but what he's talking about isn't exclusively plant-based information. He talks about the effects of having animal proteins and animal um, products in your diet as well. He's just not adding things to your diet. Um, let's see. Don't have a whole lot more going into the weekend, guys. I kind of had um talked about a lot of the stuff earlier in the week I wanted to talk about. I really felt like I covered a lot with the resisting temptation on Wednesday. Uh, and I would recommend, if you haven't seen the Wednesdays live stream, maybe check that out, especially if you're trying to, get into a diet and stick to the diet. It's it's not, I'm not saying anything groundbreaking or revolutionary there, but it is kind of nice sometimes to just be reminded of a few things to help kind of keep you on your diet. So I would recommend checking that out. Um, I'm going to get out of here today, though. It's just going to be a super quick one. I appreciate you guys checking out the broadcast. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do get subscribed. Click on the bell icon so you'll get alerted when I go live. It's generally 4 p.m. on weekdays. I'll be back live Monday next week. Definitely do Monday and then the weigh-in Wednesday. I think I'll be able to go live more than just those 2 days, but I'll definitely be back on Monday and then I will be on for weigh-in Wednesday. I'm extremely happy with where I'm at with my diet. So it's uh a lot of this is day to day is just a repeat of the previous day. But as long as the weight keeps coming off on the scale, I'm going to be happy about it. Um I know that there's a lot of differing opinions when it comes to getting on the scale, but if you're wanting to lose weight, if that's your goal is weight loss, then I highly recommend getting on the scale and keeping track of it. If you are just looking to get healthier, that absolutely happens from this diet. You will lose weight eating this way. It's just it can be slow, I mean, and that was something going into this. I didn't know this was the way I was going to be eating, but this is the way I wanted to get the weight off. I wanted to find out how people who live at 220 pounds eat. And that's what I feel like I'm working towards. And so it's not going to be a quick shoot down to that goal weight, but it has been extremely satisfying and rewarding so far. So I'm going to keep doing it the way we've been doing it. Um, and get through this weekend. Like I said, I know I'm up a little bit, so I'm going to pay attention to that. I'm going to keep that in mind throughout the weekend so that when I come back on Monday, I'll have a big old smile on my face because I'll have made it through the weekend with a weight loss. So I'm out of here, guys. I think I covered everything I had on my sheet to cover. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's no event coming up that is more important than your health. You need start making changes now to improve your life and um, make big changes. The you if you want to have a dramatic change in your life, you need to dramatically change your diet. And like the title page on this says, a healthy life is a result of a healthy diet. So um, get started right now. Nobody gets to their goal and looks back and says, I'm happy I waited. Everybody gets to their goal and says, I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I'd have known then what I know now. So get started, guys. I will be back on Monday. You guys all have a great day.